ride.
I don't know what celebrity you are.
Hey, I'm not taking my ticket. Let me ride. I can't have nobody seeing me right here.
Atlanta police are blaming a local rapper's music video for the deaths of two teen-year-olds.
It was just a concert. I was waiting for Lil Baby to come buy my tacos up.
And cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival stronghold and a music video.
The reason behind Lil Baby stepping away from music has finally come to light. Today, Wolfpack Global Music, a label affiliated with him, confirmed via Instagram that he is retiring from the industry. Sources suggest the decision stems from frustration with young associates snitching during interrogations, a breach of trust that hit close to home. In his own words, he emphasized the importance of keeping promises, warning that anything shared carelessly could be exposed. The move signals that Lil Baby is choosing to step back from the spotlight and protect himself from a world where loyalty is no longer guaranteed. An explosive leak has thrust Young Thug and Lil Baby's relationship into the spotlight, painting a complicated and tense picture. A purported jail call from Young Thug has surfaced, where he calls QCP a rat and criticizes Lil Baby for working with him. In the conversation, Thug emphasizes loyalty, saying, "You can't rock with a rat and preach about loyalty at the same time." That's a fact, bro. Even $1 million payoff cannot erase betrayal, he added, underscoring the seriousness of the situation. Despite this tension, both artists were seen attending a music event together, though their interaction was icy. They barely spoke, barely acknowledged each other, a visible crack in what was once a close bond. Following the event, Thug reached out to Lil Baby on Instagram, urging him to communicate. He wrote, "Wham, pick up the phone. Talk to me. I taught you everything you know. We're for life. Don't let a rat divide us. You're real, but you hide it. You gave guys $75,000 to help with their lawyers and never spoke about it. I wish the world knew everything. You need to speak up and show you're real. We learned from Pluto. It's all love and respect on my end." Meanwhile, Lil Baby's decision to step back from music is fueled by mounting federal pressure. Rumors suggest that the Atlanta court system is processing evidence that could implicate him in a larger case tied to RICO statutes. Lil Baby reportedly fears that his connection to Thug and Ghana, and possibly information leaked by them, has placed him squarely in the crosshairs. Investigators are reportedly reviewing wiretapped calls, and notes indicate that tickets were allegedly placed on Lil Baby's head, suggesting he could face serious charges if the situation escalates. The combination of legal scrutiny, fractured alliances, and mounting distrust has forced Lil Baby to reconsider his career, prioritizing self-preservation over the music industry spotlight.
You know what's finna go on. Like, how the hell you can, you know what I'm saying?
They ain't even like that, man. They got tickets on a lot of these folks, I'm telling you.
We just heard somebody say these folks got tickets on these people. We know what's going on. First of all, who was that said that about the tickets?
Unc, the unidentified male that was being referred to as Unc.
And he's speaking with Mr. Sanders?
Correct.
And what, in your experience, do you know what tickets are?
A price on somebody's head.
What do you mean by what do you mean on somebody's head? What is that?
Like a bounty.
Okay. To have them arrested?
For
And who were they referring to in that portion of the call?
They were saying that they had heard that Dominique Jones had tickets on a lot of people's heads.
Dominique Jones wanted to have people harmed.
Correct.
All right, moving on.
So there's this journalist. He's out of Atlanta. Well-reputed journalist. His name is George Cheedy. Like, he was the person who was very accurate on predicting that YSL was going to get indicted in the RICO. He's an Atlanta journalist, certified. He's really good. He's came out and he said that the Atlanta Public Defenders Council, like the office, they're basically their specialized unit for Georgia's Public Defender's Office. The unit that specializes on gang cases says the office is actively preparing for a racketeering indictment on the 4PF and OMF case. Now, I don't know what OMF is, and that he expects Lil Baby to be in.
As Lil Baby found himself increasingly targeted by federal authorities, Young Thug stepped in to defend him, taking aim at the investigator involved in Lil Baby's case. On social media, Thug labeled her the biggest liar in the DA office, publicly sharing her name and photo, Marissa Viviero, and highlighting her role in the legal efforts against Lil Baby. He even reposted, "All my homies hate Viviero," directly calling out a government official, a move that raised eyebrows given his own probation status. Legal experts warned that this could be interpreted as a provocation or even a smoke signal to incite harm, potentially prompting motions to revoke his probation. Thug's actions stemmed from Viviero's testimony in the ongoing OMF case, where she linked Lil Baby and 4PF to street activity and hinted at forthcoming indictments. In an attempt to shield himself and his label from further scrutiny, Lil Baby reportedly made the drastic decision to shut down 4PF. The move was strategic. By closing the label, he hoped to prevent it from being officially classified as a street-affiliated operation, which could have intensified the federal case against him. This combination of public confrontation, legal maneuvering, and strategic label closure reflects the high-stakes tension surrounding Lil Baby, Young Thug, and their affiliations, as they navigate the pressures of law enforcement scrutiny while trying to protect their careers and personal freedom.
Come to an end, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. When you say of course, I mean, why you say of course?
Because all shit that be going on. And I had to start learning that, like, other people's actions I could be held accountable for.
Right.
I ain't know all that at first, you know what I'm saying? I never would have went that route, but I ain't know, you know what I'm saying? Now that I know, I'd be a fool to just keep the same thing going. They trying to make something out of something that it ain't.
Right.
Like, if I got any kind of control of, hey, we're gonna switch that whole thing up. It ain't even just about the police, it's just period, you know what I'm saying? Like, I never was supposed to make my label something that I talk about.
Respect to this, Lamont Freeman was allowed to be a 13-year-old for 27 minutes before gang violence ultimately took his life. Gang violence was orchestrated by adults in our city. And cowardly acts of an Atlanta-based rapper that decided to go over into a rival gang stronghold and shoot a music video in a place that he knew he should not have been. And in the subsequent days, we saw and ultimately the deaths of 2 children as a result of his cowardly actions. And you know who you are. And I tell you that this team will work relentlessly to hold you and the persons that you are affiliated with responsible for those actions.
Lil Baby's attempt to distance himself only seemed to deepen federal scrutiny, painting him in an even more suspicious light. Authorities are now holding him responsible for the deaths of 2 individuals, despite him having no direct involvement in the act itself. The Atlanta Police Department publicly stated that his actions indirectly led to the passing of Jackie Davis and Lamont Freeman last summer. According to law enforcement, 7 arrests were made connected to the incident, which allegedly stemmed from Lil Baby filming a music video in a rival gang's territory. In their official statement, Atlanta PD said, "The team will work relentlessly to hold you accountable," emphasizing that the deaths of 2 children were tied to what they deemed reckless behavior. They described the situation as orchestrated by adults, highlighting that Lamont Freeman, only 13 at the time, was left vulnerable for 27 minutes before tragedy struck, blaming the environment created around the video shoot for the fatal outcome. Adding to the chaos, a local woman inadvertently amplified the situation on social media by posting about Lil Baby filming in her neighborhood to promote her taco shop. She filmed him grabbing tacos and shared the footage on Facebook, seemingly oblivious to the broader implications. Her playful clip, showing Lil Baby casually moving through the area, became part of the narrative, showing how a casual social media post can spiral into evidence and attention in an already tense investigation. The combination of federal pressure, local outrage, and viral social media activity has now intensified scrutiny on Lil Baby, linking him, fairly or not, to a tragic chain of events stemming from a music video shoot. Things got wild when a local woman's video of Lil Baby grabbing tacos went viral, showing him casually moving through the neighborhood while filming a video. According to police, The opposing gang had no idea he was there until that clip circulated online, but somehow, authorities are still holding Lil Baby responsible. Fans quickly chimed in, one tweet going viral. If he gets locked up, his career is done. His music is barely hanging on. Experts echoed the sentiment, pointing out that Lil Baby still relies heavily on Young Thug for collaborations and clout to maintain his success. Observers speculated he needs Thug not just for verses or features, but for the energy and presence that propels his music further. Meanwhile, Lil Baby has been confidently previewing new tracks, almost as if shrugging off the chaos around him, but insiders note the tension is real. Young Thug also opened up about Ghana's alleged snitching in the YSL case, highlighting how interconnected these situations are. Ghana, a key collaborator on multiple hits under Lil Baby's label, was arrested around the same time, leaving fans and media wondering how their relationship stands now. Young Thug stayed tight-lipped, saying only that everyone is curious about the dynamics, leaving the public to piece together the implications on Lil Baby's career and legal situation. It is no coincidence that Lil Baby's legal troubles began shortly after Ghana allegedly cooperated in the YSL trial. A viral tweet summed it up. Once y'all understand the full fallout from Ghana snitching in that YSL case, you'll see why Thug and Baby will never forgive him. Experts have noted that the district attorney's office has been closely monitoring both Lil Baby and Young Thug for months. Roughly a month after Ghana's cooperation, Lil Baby was arrested on a Monday night for carrying a concealed firearm without a permit and was taken to a detention center with bail set at $5,000. Lil Baby maintained his innocence, insisting he had the proper license and expressing frustration over the situation in real time, even joking about the cost of his security measures versus the charges he faced. Interestingly, months prior, insiders revealed that 4PF had already been flagged by federal authorities as a potential street team to target, with a shortlist of top rappers under scrutiny. Sources claimed that 2 high-profile artists were specifically marked for investigation first, underscoring the growing legal pressure surrounding Lil Baby and his circle. The situation gets even clearer when you connect the dots. There's another high-profile artist in Atlanta, known by 3 letters, currently rising among the top 3 rappers in the game, who seems to be in the crosshairs next. With the YSL trial wrapped up, 4PF appears to be the next target. Experts explain that Lil Baby's recent arrests serve as a warning, a prelude to a potential federal case. Insider accounts suggest that when Fonnie Willis focused on YSL, there was a broad net. Targets included Doug, YFN, and eventually YSL. It was inevitable that 4PF would come under scrutiny. Some even changed their stage names as a precaution, but sources say the feds reassured them they could dismiss certain charges, particularly after key figures like passed away. However, authorities still have Lil Baby on their radar, calculating that they will eventually build a case against him. This explains his cautious moves lately. His attention has been more on local and state surveillance than federal, navigating a maze of watchful eyes. To add, a minor arrest over window tints shortly after the initial incident only intensified the sense of scrutiny surrounding him.
You better listen. I don't know if Young Thug's still just on a vacation. Tell him you need him. You need him for a verse, a song. You probably need him to pop out his loud for you because it would have made it all better. You need this, okay? Please. Yo, the crazy thing is Lil Baby confidently be previewing these. It's like, yo, they're hot. Yo, chat, I feel like the Monstars hopped out of one of them New Jersey drones and f***ing grabbed Lil Baby and shook the talent out of him. I don't know what I'm hearing thus far. I've heard 2 of them. Like, I've heard the 2 of them. They're like, yo, these are going first, then these are going first. I've heard the names. And I don't know if I should say it. Again, I got nothing to do with no investigation for nothing, whatever, but these are top rappers. Well, one's a top rapper. The other one, matter of fact, I'll do the segment without saying the name. I'll just say this. I believe you know who the obvious name is. They're in Atlanta. They go by 3 letters. They've been popping. One of the top, I would say, 3 rappers.
Lil Baby found himself in another tense encounter with law enforcement over his heavily tinted windows, arguing that as a celebrity, he had the right to privacy while driving. Officers insisted he remove the tint, issuing him a ticket, and though he tried to comply, a subsequent stop led to bodycam footage corruption and his brief jail time. He was fortunately bailed out that same night. Meanwhile, Young Thug's leaked jail call added fuel to the fire, as authorities reportedly kept a detailed record of everything he said, some of which could potentially implicate Lil Baby. Social media erupted with speculation, with fans warning that since Thug and Ghana had already faced legal scrutiny, Lil Baby could be next. Adding to the drama, Young Thug's cryptic comments hinted at someone named Pee Wee Roscoe in an older case, leaving listeners puzzled. Even 6ix9ine weighed in, criticizing Thug for speaking with the feds for an extended period, further intensifying the scrutiny and tension surrounding Lil Baby's situation. I just need to know where all the energy is at with this Young Thug situation. I stayed quiet for 2 days, watching it unfold, observing the excuses people kept making, moving the goalposts further and further each time. Oh, it is different this time, they say. Nah, it's okay because it happened after 3, like, change anything. Let's be real, everyone knows your rights. Remain silent, call an attorney, anything you say can be used in court. But he spoke for 2 hours, and now I'm asking, where's the outrage? Where is everybody Lil Baby, 21 Savage, Future? Silence. Even insiders from the YSL camp are calling out what Young Thug said as straight-up snitching. YSL Mondo pointed out that, after beating a RICO case and coming home, showing humility, you would think people would mind their business. Yet here he is, still pushing the rat narrative, undermining what should have been a quiet comeback. All the talk about comebacks and loyalty misses the real issue. Young Thug manipulated people, convincing them he never ratted on anyone, but the truth is inescapable. Sitting in front of 12 and naming names, like mentioning Roscoe, who served 10 years, makes you a snitch, no matter what narrative he spins. It is sickening how people get brainwashed, waiting for guidance while ignoring reality. Even insiders like YSL Woody warned that Thug cannot be trusted, urging rappers to distance themselves or risk being dragged down with him. Despite this, some ignored the warnings, pretending street credibility shields them from consequences. In reality, staying out of the fray is the safest move. Lil Baby, 21 Savage, and others were advised to focus on themselves and let the drama unfold without getting pulled in. Thug, with nothing to lose, is dangerous, and when the time comes, he could take everyone down around him. Following that advice, 21 Savage acted fast, unfollowing Young Thug the very next day, signaling a clear line being drawn. Academics explained why YSL Woody does not trust Young Thug. During his interrogations, Thug never paid for Woody's lawyer, leaving him to defend Thug while being manipulated. Woody pointed out that being in an interrogation room without legal counsel is unacceptable, especially considering the money Thug had. While he ended up defending Thug out of loyalty or manipulation, he made clear it was never Thug's responsibility to ensure everyone was taken care of. Reflecting on the situation, Woody admitted that if he had known the consequences, he never would have gotten involved and still harbors resentment over many aspects of the experience. On the other hand, Thug's family has publicly defended him. His sister claimed the snitch accusations are exaggerated, arguing that people misunderstand why he cannot return to Atlanta, insisting that the online narrative does not reflect the real person she knows. Thug's sister insisted the criticism is largely because he cannot return to Atlanta, emphasizing that people are misinterpreting the situation and unfairly attacking him online. Meanwhile, leaked audio from Young Thug revealed he advised other rappers not to rush calling out Gunner, possibly aiming to make any response more impactful by coordinating disses at once. He stressed that nobody should act online for clout and that while there might be dirt on Gunner, the approach should remain measured. Some expressed disappointment, but Young Thug maintained it was about strategy, not betrayal. In addition, Charleston White has made it his mission to expose Thug through these snitching audios, openly seeking to end his career. Analysts warned that if Thug remains incarcerated under harsh conditions for several more months, even he might feel compelled to cooperate just to secure his release, highlighting the intense pressure surrounding his current legal situation. Charleston White warned that young Thug was on the verge of breaking. He criticized the industry, pointing out the hypocrisy in fans' reactions, angry at Ghana for snitching while ignoring Thug's tower interrogation. Charleston openly declared his intent to take Thug down, claiming he would end his rap career entirely. He advised others to step back. Lil Baby should distance himself, Ghana should stay silent, and he would handle the rest. "Nobody can beat me," he vowed, promising to destroy Thug's standing in Atlanta's hip-hop scene.
Some things that you're gonna have to take my word or don't believe it. It's fine. I don't care either or. When Fonnie Willis started targeting YSL, Fonnie Willis had a bunch of people to target. She wanted Thug. She got YFN. So she got YSL, YFN. Eventually, they were gonna get to 4PF. That's one of the reasons they changed their names, by the way. Except, from what I heard, the feds told them, it's okay, we got it. So the feds told him, like, it's okay if you dismiss the charge. So they didn't go that hard with trying to get Dirk, especially after Von died. They dropped that case. They dropped it, but the feds has realized we gonna get Dirk eventually. Doing the math? You see why Lil Baby is moving the way he been? Because Lil Baby hasn't been on Fed watch. He's been on county, state.
Meanwhile, analysts revealed a split within the rap world over what counts as snitching. Loyalty often dictates perception. If the artist is liked, their actions are overlooked. If disliked, they are scrutinized. Many argued that no one was actually incarcerated because of Thug's statements, with some insisting he even misdirected authorities, ultimately helping his associates. Casual fans, focused more on music than street codes, largely dismissed the controversy. For most civilians, the snitch debate is irrelevant. They care about the music, not the alleged criminal behavior behind it. Facing no viable escape from mounting scrutiny, Young Thug released a new track. The intro depicts him leaving jail in the same outfit he wore during sentencing, his lawyer, Brian Steele, accompanying him. Thug's lyrics appeal for mercy and understanding, expressing a desire to return home, reunite with his family, and live better. Legally, he is facing a total 40-year sentence, with the first 5 years in prison commuted to time already served, followed by 15 years of probation. Yet, even as he puts out music, Thug's release comes with the weight of ongoing legal challenges. Recent reports revealed that the state of Georgia has filed a motion to revoke Young Thug's probation, potentially sending him back to jail. The move sparked outrage online, particularly after Benzino called out the system for leaking Thug's private jail calls. He argued that the leaks are unconstitutional, deliberately designed to bait Thug while he remains on probation, and intended to manipulate public perception. Benzino questioned how it is even legal for a prison, a government institution, to release private phone calls. He noted the lack of watermarks on the audio, suggesting it was not a media outlet like TMZ distributing the calls, but rather a calculated action by the government. According to him, from federal agencies down to City Hall, communications teams constantly monitor social media, ready to exploit any opportunity. The result, he argued, is that communities unwittingly hand over personal and cultural content to authorities, feeding into the system's agenda. Academics weighed in, expressing frustration with wealthy rappers who continue to glorify street life despite achieving millionaire status. While they admire artists like Young Thug and members of YSL for their influence and artistry, they criticized the persistent propagation of street codes. These millionaires, they explained, come from humble beginnings, but remain fixated on projecting the image of the realest street personas. Even YSL's Woody recently posted, "No, I'm not," signaling a struggle with this self-image. The experts emphasized that this is a cultural shift. These former gangsters now confront responsibilities like family, children, and personal accountability. Unlike before, when the streets define them, many are now seeking therapy and guidance, a first in the history of hip-hop's street-driven narratives. Success has changed the stakes, yet the pressure to maintain authenticity in the public eye remains a heavy burden.